three-match win streak for women's volleyball, the second conference win for men's soccer.
Women's soccer continuing to struggle, and Suffolk women's golf playing their first match ever. It's all coming up next right here on the Suffolk Sports Report.
Welcome into Studio 73, everybody. Presented by the Communications and Journalism Department, this is the Suffolk Sports Report. I'm Laney Johnson.
And I'm Jacob Tobey. Today we start with men's soccer, who got their second conference win of the season Saturday versus Sell. Suffolk is now 2-1 in the GNAC conference as they sit in 5th place. They still have a leading point tallier and goal scorer in the conference, Alberto Beaton, although he has missed the last 3 games due to personal reasons. Suffolk has gone 1-2 without Beaton. For more on the team, we bring in Suffolk Free Radio commentators Sean Cushing and Tyler Gouveia. Guys?
Hello and welcome. Alongside Sean over here, we're going to talk some Suffolk University soccer coming off of a big win on Saturday, 3-0 over LaSalle. Sean, what do you think of the game?
I definitely think the weather played a factor in the game. Not much on Suffolk's side, but definitely on the side of LaSalle College. As we saw for Suffolk, Christian Restrepo scored a goal within the first 4 minutes of the game. But the part where I do think the weather may have affected both teams is in the first half, about 40 minutes left in the first half after Restrepo's goal. Both teams were shut out in that aspect, but in the second half it was smooth sailing for the Rams as Aaron Haggis scored 2 goals to put the Rams up 3-0, one of those goals coming off of a penalty kick.
And they just seem to be that second half team more this year. We're not seeing much productivity in the first half as we are in the second. They really seem to be that second half team. So the injury bug has definitely been hitting Suffolk University hard in the last few games. What's the latest on that?
So Alberto Beaton, their best player, is still out, still leads the GNAC in goals, but the thing is they definitely need him moving forward. They have a game coming up against Mount Ida, and they have a game coming up after that versus Norwich. So they definitely need him for that one because the last few games, one Johnson and Wales, they didn't have him, they didn't have Jordan Casey, and they didn't have Jackson Hines. And they definitely now have Casey and Hines back, but without Beaton, your best scorer, it's going to be very tough moving forward for them.
Absolutely. I think Beaton's going to be the key for Suffolk in the next few games. Hopefully they can manage with a 1-1 split here, maybe beating Norwich. Mount Ida is going to be a very tough game, but hopefully they're able to squeak it out. They haven't been on the road in almost 2 weeks, so it's going to be a very crucial part. Suffolk isn't used to being on the road. Yeah,
I definitely think that those 2 games could be a 1-1 split. If Beaton is back, I definitely think that it will be a 2-0 for the Rams. Norwich is going to be a very tough game. They're pretty high in the GNAC standings. Mount Ida is going to be also a tough game for them, but I do think they could beat them without Beaton, but I do think they need Beaton to beat Norwich.
Absolutely. It'll definitely be an interesting week in Suffolk soccer. Now back to you.
Thanks, guys. In September, Athletic Director Carrie McConnell announced the hiring of Jay Parker as head coach for the first ever women's golf team here at Suffolk. Taking to the links for the very first time, the team took on Rhode Island College in a head-to-head match at Valley Country Club yesterday. The Rams squad could not overcome the veteran anchor women, however, as the hosts outshot Suffolk 504 to 424. Annie Dillon was just 4 strokes behind the individual winner and shot a 97 to pace the Rams. Kaylee Santos was 5 strokes behind Dillon to finish 4th in the individual standings. Suffolk takes next week off before traveling to Bloomfield, New Jersey for its first ever 2-day competition. The Rams will take the course at Forest Hill Field Club October 15th and 16th for the NYU Invitational.
Switching things over to women's soccer, they have had a little bit of a bump in the road, having lost 4 matches in a row. To dissect what's been going on, we send it over to Hannah Arroyo. Hannah?
Thanks, Jacob. The Suffolk women's soccer team dropped their match to Simmons College Saturday, 4-0, with the losing streak now at 4 games. The game remained scoreless through the first half until Simmons struck with a goal 10 minutes into the second half of play. Captain Jennifer Martin had 6 shots, one of which hit the crossbar. The Rams' other captain, Alexandra Nagri, had 5 shots, one of which hit the post. The girls were unable to produce any goals as it was a tough day for the offense. Freshman Julia Fieldsen had her first collegiate start in net for the Rams and made 11 saves. Suffolk had 13 shots and 19 fouls. The Rams took 2 corner kicks and were the only caught off sides 1 time. Overall this season, the girls have scored 19 goals and averaged 12 shots per game. Suffolk finds themselves in 9th place in GNAC standings with a 2-3 record. The Rams have an overall record of 4-6 as they look to snap their losing streak. The girls' next game is on Wednesday at 7 versus St. Joseph's College. Laney, back to you guys.
Thanks, Hannah. Women's volleyball kept its winning ways going Wednesday night with a 3-1 GNAC victory over Mount Ida inside Reagan Gymnasium. Suffolk took a 2-0 match lead, but Mount Ida rallied in the third frame to force a fourth set. Suffolk broke a 3-3 tie and held on to the lead down the stretch to secure their first conference win of the season. Up next for Suffolk is East Nazarene tonight at home beginning at 7. Well, that'll be all for today.
If you want to get involved with the Sports Report, you can email me at jtoby@suffolk.edu. So from all of us here at Studio 73, I am Jacob Tobey.
And I'm Laney Johnson. We'll see you next time.